Hey guys, this is Lee, and this is another one of those short videos that I want to make for those of you who maybe it's your first time having surgery, maybe it's your first time having the ACDF surgery, and you're trying to do as much research as you can about the surgery, the procedure, what to expect. And so there are a lot of videos out there, and I'll continue to talk about my own surgery and my recovery and all of that as we go along. But I realized that in preparing to have the surgery, there were a lot of things I had to discover on my own. And I think I was resourceful enough that I was able to find answers before the surgery happened. And these things, the things I'm going to share with you, lowered my anxiety a lot. Because some of the comments from some of you so far have been, I was nervous, but now I feel a little bit better, or you lowered my anxiety, and that was exactly the point of what I was trying to do. So I have a number of lists that I made for myself to help me with navigating through this whole process. And one of the things, this was not part of a list, but I wanted to do this video and focus on what actually happens on the morning of your surgery or the day of your surgery, meaning you're actually going to the hospital to have the surgery done. Fortunately for me, I think the surgery was done early in the morning. If you're having your surgery done later in the afternoon, everything's going to be exactly the same. Is just that it's a later time of day is all. So if you're having 1 level, 2 level, maybe that makes a difference, and they feel they do it in the afternoon. I was having 3 levels scheduled to be done, and they ended up having to do a 4th level. So they would start early in the morning, and if they ran into any issues, then they would go a little bit longer. So, all right. So the first thing is when you get to the hospital, you're going to have to go through check-in. They usually have you come in just like a regular patient does, come in through admissions. One of the things they tell you to do, and this was a little confusing, is they tell you don't bring an overnight bag, even though you know you're going to stay overnight. Let's say they say do not bring an overnight bag. Yet there were people with overnight bags, and I kept wondering, why is that? Well, the reason is because when you go to check in, you have your normal clothes on, so those clothes don't stay with you. So you're going to give those clothes to someone, and so I guess you put those clothes in that little bag, and then they take it with them, and then when they come back to see you, they'll bring it back to you. So my suggestion is decide what clothes you're going to wear to the hospital, and if you can, those would be the clothes that you're going to wear home when you get discharged from the hospital. What I ended up doing is I just had everything in just a little. This is just a cheapo backpack. I picked it up. I don't even know where I got it. I think I maybe got it at the dollar store or something like that. It's got 2 pockets in it, but it's got a huge center compartment, so I could put my shoes in the bottom in a plastic bag, and put all of my everything else that I was wearing, which wasn't much, into this bag. And then the one additional thing I had in there was basically this. And this I actually put my cell phone. This is a makeup case, I guess. I put my cell phone in there. I put a charger in there. I put a pair of earbuds in there. And now these are the iPhone earbuds. I love these. These are my favorites, but my recommendation is to not take these. If you have some of these, I would suggest that you get even a cheapo pair of headphones that have a hook on them like this. So these are called Power Beats Pro, and they come in a case that looks like this. All right, they're about as expensive as the iPod, the Apple Earbuds, but you can find much less expensive ones that look like this. The reason that these are the ones I should have taken is because they have that little hook there, and you just hook it over your ear, and it's in your ear. So you're moving around, you're trying to get in and out of the bed, and you're moving around, you fall asleep, your head falls aside. These stay on your ear. With my earbuds, I did have these in like this, and they work fine. The sound is great. I can listen to all my audiobooks, talk on the phone, dictate, whatever. But at one point, I forgot they were in. They're so comfortable, and I knocked them out, and the nurse had to help me find them. So that's the problem with those. Okay, but my point is, all of that stuff including my charger, was in this little pouch here. When my wife came back to after surgery, she just brought this back and just put it in the corner in the room, or she didn't even need to bring it. She could have just brought this, because all I really needed, since I was going to be there a night or two, all I needed was just this. You could put a little bit of a backup battery in there too, if you do put a charger in there. I should say get one that make sure it has a pretty good extension cable on it, because the beds usually are pretty far away from the wall. So anyways, let me just finish this up. So they wheel you in, they check you in, they take you back into the pre-surgery prep area, and there's a nurse back there. They usually greet you. Everybody is, getting ready. They take you into a little area there, and they have you take your clothes off. The person who comes with you to the hospital can't come into this area with you at this point. They just take you back. They get you out of your clothes. They get you in the hospital gown. They get you on a gurney. They make sure you're comfortable. The nurse that was attending to me asked me if I wanted a warm blanket, and they put a nice warm blanket on me. They put some socks on me, all of that stuff. And then nurses come in and they start asking you questions. And that's one thing, just keep in mind, you're going to get asked the same questions over and over and over again. Don't get upset about that. These people are trying to do their job, and they got to make sure that you're the person that they're supposed to be dealing with right now. So just, don't go like, I already answered it. Don't be that person. Just answer the questions. Just be straightforward. They'll get through it. You'll get through it. You're being a good patient. And so at that point, once they get you all prepped, your doctor or your surgeon will usually come in. The anesthesiologist will come in. They'll all talk to you. They'll probably mark your neck. I think my surgeon signed the area where he was going to work, just so everybody's on the same page. And then the person who brought you to the hospital gets to come in to see you before you go into the surgery room, and you give them all your things. Make sure you have your advanced directives or your power of attorney or anything like that. You make sure you give it to the nurse, because they'll need to have it on file or somewhere before then. That's the last chance you have to give it to them. Otherwise, they can't go forward with this. And then the person that you came with stays there, and they say, okay, are you ready? And you say, yep, I'm ready, and let's do this. And they start rolling you out. And while they're rolling you out, the guy was rolling me out, and he says, okay, all right, we should be starting soon. He says, let me get you started with a little bit of oxygen. He put the oxygen over me. Next thing I remember, I was waking up in my room. That was it. It was like, bam, it was just that fast. So it's pretty straightforward. You don't remember anything. So the easiest part of your day is once you actually are getting prepped to go into surgery. That is going to be the easiest part of your day. When you come out of surgery, you're going to be in la la land. They're going to have all kinds of things on your legs, just kind of massaging your legs. That's to help with blood clotting. They might have given you a little bit of oxygen. You're going to have wires coming out of everywhere, because during the surgery they were monitoring you, and they usually do two. They put two IVs in, so just in case they have a problem with one, they can make sure they can quickly do the other one. But they will inform you of all the particulars of your certain situation. One last thing I will say is, they told my wife that they will keep her in the loop as things go along. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but one of the reasons that you want to have that advanced directive is because during my surgery, the doctor did discover that he had to do a little bit more than he anticipated, and we hadn't talked about it. And had he not had that advanced directive, and had he not been able to reach my wife, he would have had to bring me out of anesthesia to get my permission, and then close me up, and then start from where he left off. I just can't imagine that situation. So, but my wife was kept in the loop. They were texting her. They text her. The surgeon called her twice for various reasons, and then the hospital texted her and said, "Okay, he's out of surgery. He did well. You can come see him now." And by the time I came to, she was there already, and life went on at that point. So, all right. So I rambled a little bit, but I hope that was helpful. All right. I'm Lee. Stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye.